Welcome back, guys. Good to see you again. I think today we're going to do another generator fix. Now, just a little while ago, another big storm rolled through. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it. But I think we need to keep the generators all tuned up and make sure everything's all set for the fall and the winter, which isn't that far away. It's hot right now, but it won't be for long. So let's take a look. So I think we'll get this 2 kilowatt Hyundai out and see if we can make sure it's all tuned up. Okie dokie. Let's get this big monster up on the bench. Jeez, I'm getting old. This is my Hyundai generator. Oh, it is a heavy little thing, but it's a great little generator. I've had great luck with it. I did buy it new from Walmart here in town in Ontario, and you'll see it has a very similar carb to the other generator that we've just worked on recently. So I think we should be able to get this thing tuned up. I don't believe there's any problems with it as of now. Nothing that I know of. It did run a couple months ago, and I thought, well, let's just give it a little tune up and see where we're at. Okay, first up, I'm going to deal with the damage I think I did myself. The fuel is off, and what I want to do is take a look down in here at the float bowl and just see, because before I knew that I could get ethanol-free fuel in my area, I ran the 10% ethanol stuff, and it probably got moisture in here and probably didn't do it any favors with the fuel that I was running. So I think we'll take a look. And down in there, that is not the best color of fuel. I've seen worse, but let's have a look and see what kind of harms we have done. Okay, we haven't. That's a pleasant surprise. The float bowl is absolutely wonderful. The float is not stuck on this machine like the last one, and there was a little bit of gunkies, but this is from the very bottom of the float bowl for the life of the generator. So that's not horrible. That's not bad at all, actually. So I'm just going to give this a little wipe, and we can reassemble this, actually. I have no concerns in there, actually. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. That's wonderful. This generator has very few hours on it, so I would expect very little trouble, but I did let it sit with fuel in it for a long time, so I guess we got lucky. Now, it's got an inline filter right down there below my hand, and it won't be clogged. There should be no issues there because it simply doesn't have enough runtime on it. We could take the low speed out and clean it, but I don't think we have to. Judging by the look of that float bowl, no harm has been done in there, so we should be alright. I think that O-ring stayed right where it should for the float bowl, and we should be in good shape. Snug that back up. Good to go. Now, I don't think we need to worry about doing an air filter service or anything on it right now, because it simply doesn't have enough hours on it since last time I had it apart. But what it does need, and this is a problem, check this out. That primer is not healthy. That is on the verge of failure. Now, is that the same primer? Is that just a standard primer bulb? Can we just change that? Let's have a look. In my experience, I don't have that much luck with primers lately, but you never know. That looks bigger for some reason than a standard one. Maybe it's just my eyeballs. No, it is bigger. Significantly bigger. Crud. Okay. How many lines? What? Okay. Only. How does that work? It's got one line that goes to the fuel pump down here. Crumbs. Go through the pile here. See if we get lucky. Wrong size. Wrong size. Wrong size. So, although that's not split right now, that's gonna be soon. It feels good, but yeah, that doesn't look good. I would be much happier if I could just change that now, or at least get the parts ordered. Yeah, here's more. These are for chainsaws. Same, too small. Oh, maybe just maybe this guy looks bigger. Hey! What up with that? Where did you come from? That was in this wonderful little heap of chainsaw goodies where I pulled this guy from. This came from eBay, and there are 2 different sizes of primer bulbs, and holy smokes, Eric got lucky for once. I'm gonna write it on my calendar. That is the right one, I do believe. Let's see if we can rebuild it. Okie dokie. 1. Oh yeah, no problems. Now, there is a spring and some valving in there, so I kind of half expect this thing to go flying. I got these new magnetic trays on Amazon today. I wanted this one, this big guy, but it came with 2 small ones, and in the picture they looked like useful size, but they are not. They're tiny, and unfortunately they come with this garbage stickers that don't come off. I don't know why companies use those. Just to annoy us as consumers, I think. In theory, this should pop apart. If the spring doesn't attack us, we should be able to just pop the new bulb right in there. This thing should be good as new. In theory. There is some steel or metal to the pump action in the back of it, which is what I think chews these primers up, and why the end of it is all kind of chewy looking. I don't know why they make them that way. It's definitely not a standard design by any stretch, but whatever. This will be it. Okay, spring them a thing and a bulb, in theory. And if the bulb comes out and is the right size, if we get silly lucky, and this is looking less lucky by the second. That is not looking like the one I found. Nope. Negative. Will it work though? No. No. It's close. Like, oh, hold on. In theory, well, it's not the same, but that might seal. Will it seal? Actually, I think that will. Well, there's one way to find out. The original has this O-ring seal kind of built into it or sitting in there. Here, let's see if we can pop it out. It's a flat seal that sits inside, yeah, that this doesn't have, and sits right on there. And then this kind of sits over it. But what if we were to install it without it? Would it work? I'm going to take a closer look. I kind of think this will work. I'm going to try it, but what we're going to do is we're going to put it together without the spring, because there's no need for it. I always wondered why that was in there, and all it's doing is acting against the rubber. There's no point in that. All it does is chew the rubber up. That's silly. I wish I would have noticed that sooner, and I would have just taken that out of there. And that would have saved that bulb. They still degrade over time, especially when you use shitty fuel like I did. But that feels like it's sealing. That really does. There's one way to find out. Go ahead and put the screws back in and see. We can probably still switch this somehow with a standard primer bulb and just use one of the lines, because all this is doing is drawing atmosphere and acting on the pump. There's no reason we can't use a standard primer that I see here. I don't know. I'm all tangled in my microphone here. Maybe we should just try that. There's those standard primers. That's a standard primer, and the line comes off the side on this one, not off the back. Do I have one that comes off the side? Maybe. No, I don't seem to, so we'll just go ahead and try putting these screws in and see if this thing seals. We'll know pretty quickly. So we just turn the fuel on, and if it starts leaking, there should be no pressure on it. So, except when you prime, and all it's doing is activating, pushing through the fuel pump, I do believe. We better do all four, just to make sure. See if this thing leaks. Alright, fuel on. Oh yeah, there might not be any gas in it. Feels good. No fuel. Let's give it some drink. That actually rings a bell. I think that's where I left it off this spring. I just ran it out of gas. Ran all the old crud out of it. Nope, we don't need to go any further. I can see I already got a fail. Okie dokie. She's drippy drip drip. Crumbs. Okay. That's not going to do. So let's put this back together with the original bulb for now, and then I'll see if I can order one. Okay, gone ahead and put that back on. What I did is I left the spring out and this cap that was originally sitting up in the end here, and this may not come across on camera, but you can see where the cap has been chewing at it from the edges. I don't know why that's in there. It's just foolishness. This thing can rebound just fine on its own. It doesn't need to be pushed back and chewed from the inside out. It's just silliness. So yeah, I don't know, that was a design fail on Hyundai's part, but there we go. This should be back to the way we got it, but slightly better, so that'll slow down our rate of decay on that. It actually feels, it looks worse than what it is. It feels okay. It's still pretty mushy, so I don't think it's going to split right away, but better get one coming. I think we better order one. Okay, fuel is on, but there's no fuel in there, so we're going to go ahead and we'll chop this up. If you haven't seen this before on the channel, these things are wonderful. This little transfer pump, get these from Amazon, and it just fills anything up so easy. You just take this out and set it in, hold it up a little bit, otherwise it's going to kick off. And as soon as it's full, it'll kick off all on its own. Just wonderful. And if we push it down in, it'll stop on its own. And that should be enough fuel just to get us started, I think. Give us an idea what's up and down. That is Shell V-Power, no ethanol in it. All the rest of the fuel around here is 10% ethanol, up to. which I'm sure it's probably more. And if we pump that, there we go. We got fuel, and we'll give this a minute and see if anything's coming out. That's filling up our carb nicely. Okay, we're good to go. We've got fuel. I know this ran before, so I don't think we have to worry about anything there. What I can see is there's a bit of a mouse sign down in there, some critter chunks, so we'll just go ahead and we'll vacuum those out. Alright, that looks good. Minor. Everything up here is looking good. This is our choke lever up here that you can't see. It's still functional. The idle motor up there is looking fine. Debating on whether we pull that. I don't think we have to pull the idle jet. This was running before. So what we should do is obviously check the oil, and you know what? I think it's probably high time we just change it. Like, that looks absolutely fine, but I think what we'll do is we'll just change it out. Yeah, let's change it. I like fresh oil and things, don't you? Make everything nice and new again. So what I don't have to change the oil in these style of generators, you actually have to pour it out of the fill hole. That's the only way. And they come with a fitting sometimes. My father said his came with it. I don't believe this one did. So I'll maybe just stick a hose in there, and we'll figure something out and see if we can get it draining. It's back in a minute. Yeah. I can hear you judging me. Oh, that is fugly. What? I guess we'll see. I can hear you judging me. I got too much sealant on there. The industrial grade sealant proved to be too effective, aka black electrical tape. Oh man. Yeah. The things we do. Some things, good ideas. Some things, horrible ones. But, no bueno. She needs more shtickum. We definitely don't want. We don't want to get crap down inside there either. That would be undesirable. So we want to get it kind of stuck, but not so stuck to shed material. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, who didn't see that coming? Yeah. Bet you can't see that. Come on, go. Now we just sit there and hold this for ever. Such is life. The life of do it yourself. Watch the oil go. One interesting thing that just happened, I can see my float bowl gasket is leaking. So either it fell out of place or it was never in place properly to begin with. Doogie. Okay, before we go any further, pull that float bowl back off again. See what's up in there. Something is wrong, because when I tipped this on its side, it poured fuel out. I'm pretty sure it came from the seal on the float bowl, which is undesirable. Alright, let's see. Well, it looks fine. There is always a chance that it came out of the venting above, because I did have it on a pretty wicked lean, but I don't know. Something don't seem right. Let's see if we can get a look up in there. Let's see what we're dealing with. Oh, the inspection mirror hasn't been used in more than a decade. This one, like 13 plus years. Okay, can we get that where you can see? Can you see it? Yeah, I know it's pretty small on your screen, but that's as close as I can get you right now. That is actually seated all the way around just fine. So, that's interesting. Oh, that fuel smells a little better. Woohoo! That's the good stuff. That's got a little kick to it. Well, judging by that, we got nothing to fix in there. I think we're okay. Let's just take a feel. Usually you can feel by seating something, make sure that it feels good, and that is seated all the way around. I can tell. I put a mark on, that marker is on there for me because this thing didn't like to start cold. You have to prime it. And once you pull the cover off, you never know which way choke on or off is on this thing. So run that way. So yeah, I think we're good. Let's put this back up. Maybe snug it up a bit more. I didn't exactly have it screaming tight before. Definitely could have been tighter. So I don't like, it's just an O-ring, right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll turn this thing back on its noodle here and see if anything drips out. See anything? Anything? Any drips? Any drips? Drippy? Drippy? Negatory. No more drippy drip. So Eric just caused that himself by being too shy on tightening up that float bowl the last time. I'm sorry I keep bashing you guys around. Yeah, it's fine. Nice and dry. Okay, primer still primes, even though fuel's turned on. Oh no, fuel's on now because I just turned it on. Dark. Okay, I think we're good. I think we'll put some oil in it. This is what happens when filming. Forgot to turn the camera back on. I decided I better just take a look in here in the airbox and we'll just make sure everything's okay. You never know when you're going to get critters in there or whatever. And this is all these things have, is a just nice washable foam element, and it's fine. There's no sign of mouse critters in there, so we're good. But it's better to know than not. And now we know. Okay, gone ahead, stuck a funnel in there, propped it up, Stuck a dirty funnel in there. Good job, Eric. That was smart. Just a couple cobwebs in there, but no good. We don't want those down in the crankcase. Those will not make it go faster or produce more power or sing a nice song or anything. Anyway, nothing but the best. We got the cheapest Motomaster oil that you can buy in my area. Oil is very expensive, $5 a liter or so. So we'll give her the Motomaster Supreme treatment here. I have no idea how good it is. I don't suspect it's bad by any stretch, because otherwise there's no way Canadian Tire would be still selling it after so many years, but we'll see how it does. And I have no idea how much it holds, so you just kind of gotta go stick her in there, give it a test, see where you end up. So we're halfway on the dipstick right there, so that is actually fine, but we're gonna give it just a smidge more. We want her at the top, but not over full by any stretch. But I would like just the top of the dipstick would be fine. That would suit me. Would that suit you? What do you guys think? He thinks this should do. That should be pretty close. She won't know what hit her. This thing's gonna be like, damn. All right, that's 7/8 of the way to the top. You always check when you're using a dipstick that threads in, you just set it on top. Never thread it in unless the instructions tell you to from an owner's manual or whatever, but industry standard is just set it on the threads. If you thread it all the way in, you're going to get a way false reading and you're going to drastically underfill your crankcase, and that would be undesirable. That she is gonna be happy. Now I can see this idle motor at the top. Can you see that? Can you see that up in there? See that rust on that? I don't like that too much. That's the same way the other generator was. So what I think I'll do is I'll take some cleaner and clean that, and then hit it with some paint and stop that corrosion maybe. You can also just oil it, but it is a stepper motor, and I don't want that corrosion getting through. That's undesirable. I don't know why it's corroded at all. It's funny. It could be because just the way when they got shipped over on the boat, these are probably offshore made. It is a Hyundai, but it might have just got salt corrosion, because this cotter pin here is the same. So I don't know. Maybe yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll fix it up. And next, I think what I'll do as well, I've got a lot of dirt on this and overspray and some spider droppings. And I think what I'll do is I'll just take some lacquer thinner and just clean this all up, and then hit it with like some Armor All, and it should be good as new. But yeah, let's see how far I can go without the fumes killing me, and we'll pick this back up when I'm done. Okay, that turned out just awesome. I'm super happy with that. This thing is back in service, I think. Ready to go for the winter time, the fall, even though we're right in the middle of summer right now. Well, it's only a week and a bit away from the yearly anniversary of the tornado going through and wiping everything out. So it's good to be prepared. Now we have both generators up and going. So let's see, this thing's been sitting since last night. And in theory, we should be able to throw the choke on, throw fuel on, and then what we'll do is we'll run it out after it runs for a little bit. We'll run it out of gas and get it ready for storage. But let's see. Choke, go. There we go. Perfect. I like this. Runs like a champ. So I'll fire it up, turn the fuel off, and then just let it go until it dies. That'll make sure the pump has no fuel in it, the carburetor has no fuel in it. And then when I go to use it, all we gotta do is turn it on, give it a prime, give it some choke, and it'll be all set. And I'll just leave what little bit of gas I put in there. So I don't know how long it's gonna be, but until I use it again, but I'll just keep putting fresh stuff in and running it out every 6 months or a year or so. But if you like what I'm doing here, click a thumbs up on these videos. And hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. I know I always learn something every time I play with these. Cheers, guys.